everyone, it's Sandra here at the Spirit of Avalon. So today I'm just having a little bit of a walk around really because it's a nice day. This is our very tiny library. Look at that tree. I love when the trees are in leaf like that, when it's the fresh green leaves. Look at it, so nice. See, I just wanted to come on a walk and have a bit of a think really about stuff. Just, you know, things that come to mind. Like my dad, I keep thinking, I mean, I know it's 8 years since he passed away, but I keep having dreams with him in them. So look at this blossom on this tree, so lovely. So I think it's like a message to me, and I know that I should be, that I've had messages even with the cards to use my psychic abilities more, to really switch myself on to it. And I know that I should, and whether it's that I don't know, but I've had some vivid, sort of not particularly nice dreams that haven't got my dad in them, but even still, you know. So this through here, this over here through this fence, just to show you, this is my doctor's surgery. That pathway goes down to a little estate of houses. We're just going to go up this way. This also, you'll be able to see some houses and things up this way. I thought it's so nice, let's just get out and into nature, breathe the air, look at some hawthorn, blackthorn, holly even. That was a pigeon. Look how the flowers are coming out now. And you know, as you know, I'm carer for my mum, and that's fine. But you know, people have said to me, oh, you think too much about other people, not my mum, but just other people in general. You're more kind of bothered about other people than yourself, which I know I tend to be like that. But I really want to do some actual psychic work, and I got a candle to actually kind of aid me. Well, I got it from Star Child, and they've got like all the sort of magical candles in there. And the one I got was the one that's for like opening the third eye and all of that. So I'm hoping that I can do something with that and work with the cards. And obviously, you know, I've got that Visconti Sforza deck, which I bought with the money that my dad gave me, which was the last thing he did give me before he passed away. So I'm going to try using that with the Medieval Beast deck that I was kindly sent by a subscriber. But I just wonder, I think I'm going to try and see if I can almost tune in and see if there's a deck that my dad would speak to me through. whether it'll be that one or it could be a totally different one, you know. See if I can do that, because at the moment he only kind of speaks to me in dreams, really. But the dream I had was weird. It was like I was with him for the last time, but we were by the sea and he knew he was going to die. And it was strange, and it was like, you know, oh no, this is the last time he's going to see this. This is the last time he's going to see that. So then when I woke up, it's fresh in my mind. So yeah, so there's that. But the other dream that I had a few weeks ago, and I told Chris about this in Sons of Asgard, because it was so vivid and I can still see it now, where I was in a place that was still like this planet. It wasn't off planet or anything, but it was, look at all the dandelions here. I hope they don't mow them too quickly, because, you know, they're food for bees. Let's see. See, look, there is some bees on them. See, like here. So, yeah, so the dream, it was like being somewhere but not able to get home, like as if you passed through to another realm or something, but it looked like here, but the people were all like really dirty, and there was like an old bus that was really dirty there, in like almost like a compound, I suppose, and they had a really old plane as well there, but you couldn't get out. There was no way to find your way home. I kept thinking, I can't get out of here, I can't get out. And then there was this place where you went to get food, and they were like dishing up food, but this one man, like in front of me, just picked up some food, and it was an actual hand with all blood all over it, and you could hear him crunching the bones as he was chewing this hand. And I know that's really graphic and gross, guys, I know it is, but yeah, and I thought, oh god, and there's all this blood in this pot and bits of people and stuff. And when I said to Chris about it, he said it's weird, because he said you're the third person that's actually had dreams of kind of cannibalistic things, and he thinks it's what's happening with the world at the moment and the planet and everything, and he could be right, totally. This is what we call the church path, because it goes up past the church that way and goes down to the road this way. There's actually someone coming with a dog, so I'll probably stop it in a minute, but we'll just wait here. And yeah, so, and I couldn't get out, but in the end I saw these big like white metal gates, and it had the name of a town that's near me on the gates, and I was able to get through and get back home. So very strange, and I just thought I would share that with you guys. Just let that lady by with her dog. This goes to a main road, so I probably won't go all the way down it because it will get really noisy. Yeah, so anyway, so I've had that, and I've had a couple of weird dreams, but mine are so vivid, that's the thing. But I'll see what happens. But this is the thing, I've always had sort of psychic abilities, if you like, and very often if I sit down in front of an actual medium, twice before, 2 or 3 times actually, that they've said, you do know you're highly psychic, don't you? And it's like, yeah, I do. That goes into a field in there. I'm not going to walk up that steep bank, because knowing me, I'll probably fall. Yeah, so I want to try and do some of that, and it's really difficult where I am to do sort of meditation, but I think I need to do more meditation to actually open myself up properly. Even though I'm kind of almost open to it all the time, really, because I protect myself. Like, there's different ways to do that, like, you know, picturing yourself in a bubble and things like that. But there are ways to do that, so I always like protect myself, but you know, there's very often things that will happen, or things that happen around me. And my brother's the same, he gets the same thing. So I want to kind of do something like for myself, I suppose. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'm just waffling at this point, guys, whilst taking you on a walk down this path. But at least you can see all the nice greenery and the trees and stuff up there. When we get a bit closer to the bottom, I'll turn around and go back, because it will be too noisy along the main road. So it was really just to come out for a walk for a bit, and then I'll be going back to Mum's. I put my new things out on my altar today as well. I hadn't done that since returning from Glastonbury. Of course, I'd taken things out of bags and stuff, but I hadn't put anything on the like altar area. So yeah, I'm just going to go back this way. So I hadn't put anything on the altar area, but I have now. I've got my new chalice that I got in Star Child, and a few other bits that are on there now. So, you know, and I thought about it because Simon did a video about portals, and oh gosh, that lady's coming back this way. It's typical, isn't it? About portals and, you know, other dimensions and things, and it made me think of that dream. But I'm going to do a VR to Simon on that one, because I think it'll be cool, because I've got quite a few decks that I can do that with, where you can kind of go into somewhere else, like another place. It's a bit like path working, I suppose. It's like a doorway, a portal into somewhere. Yeah, and I've had a few things happen with people in general, not friends of mine, obviously, because my friends are all like really lovely, but I've had incidences of people being rude, or not being particularly nice. So, and all of this goes over in your mind, which is another reason to get out in nature, to get rid of that bad energy that might have seeped in, other than saging yourself, of course. I've got a bit of saging to do actually at home, because I've got some pre-owned decks, pre-loved decks if you like, that I always cleanse them when I first get them, you know, because you don't know who's handled them. This is the churchyard there. I think that lady's just walking literally up and down this pathway with her dog. Probably like me, doesn't want to go out onto the main road. So yeah, at least if you don't want to listen to my waffling, you can listen to the birds and look at the lovely green leaves. But yeah, I've thought about my dad a lot, and he's not buried here or anything. It wasn't a burial. My mum's still got his ashes in an urn at her house. So yeah, there's the church. I'm sure there's been lots of people in there today, not me, that's certain. You don't mind walking around like graveyards or things like that, but I'm not, I'm not Christian, so no. It's fine for people that are. Yeah, I'm not, so yeah. Oh, there goes a little birdie on the fence. Oh, it's a little robin. See, now again, that makes me think of my dad, because they say that robins particularly are like messengers from spirit. So he's gone now into there. You can hear the birds though. It's really nice. Anyway, I will stop waffling now. I've taken you out on a walk. You've listened to me waffle. We'll see how I get on with the practices that I want to try. You know, that's why if I get called, see, very often I don't buy decks on a whim, but like I have bought the folkloric forest tarot because that just called to me immediately, you see, and that could be one to work with my dad. In fact, the Forest of Enchantment I think could work for messages from my dad. I'm going to try that actually, because that deck is like a childhood, reminds me of my childhood, but also there's the black dog in there, black shuck, and I won't repeat the story yet again, you've all heard it about my dad and that, so that's why there's a massive connection there. See, isn't it weird how, you know, I'm talking about him and then suddenly that comes into my mind, the Forest of Enchantment, which is my soul deck anyway. So it's like, yeah, of course, how stupid, why not try that to talk to him? And all I can see is this robin darting around. So see, that tells me something. I know some of you might think that's woo woo and a load of rubbish, but it's what I believe. So I'm going to work with the Forest of Enchantment to try and work it with my dad. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, there's a few people coming now, guys, so I'll leave it there and I'll talk to you soon.